So when J.J. Taylor came in here, he was very advanced from a mental standpoint, maturity-wise. How is Nathan Tilford in those aspects?
Pretty much the same. Nate, being here in the spring was a huge advantage, I think, for Nathan. I think they gave him a couple months head start on it, and he loves football. He's a guy that's ate up with it, and he's a big physical guy. And I think Coach McGee's the best running back coach in the country. So it's been a good fit. Nate's going to be able to help us a little bit.
Have you had many running backs come in looking like that physically as a true freshman?
I think he's probably been that size since he was 8th grade. I know he's been playing varsity football for a long time, but no, he is advanced physically. And then sometimes we got to remember he's still a true freshman. He was playing high school last year, but it seems like he gets better every day.
How early did you? I mean, he had his first scholarship offer in 8th grade. I mean, how early?
I heard something about that. Yeah, we didn't really. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little early for us. I didn't even know who he was or where he was at then. But we knew about him his junior year for sure, and then things fell into place. And him getting graduated early was a big bonus for us, and for him to be able to have a chance to help us.
Some schools recruited him as a linebacker. How good of a linebacker do you think he could have been?
Not as good at running as he is at running back. So he's a physical guy, but I do think he's. His best skill sets are at running back.
Does his style and stature remind you of anyone?
He's probably closer than Nick, but he's a little different, a little taller, rangier type of guy. I'm trying to think, I haven't had a lot that size, at least that height. But they're all a little bit different, from Zach to Nick, JJ and Nathan and Brandon Leon. And Brandon Leon is going to play too. He's had an outstanding camp, and I like the group of running backs we have. Gary Brightwell's a true freshman who's made for a little running back, but he's probably going to play even more slot. I mean, we got him a slot receiver, and he's looking good. So I like the young skill position guys we have.
It's a good group. It looks like a lot of.
Yeah, we hope to stay healthy. Again, we've been lucky so far. I mean, we got a long season ahead of us. But our goal, we want to have at least. You saw last year, we went down to 5 or 6. We want to have at least 3 playing consistently in every game.
A lot of people talked about last year. Had you not lost those guys, it would have been a nice year.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's the quarterback injuries, instead linebacker injuries, a lot of things. And there was, you can't ignore what happened as far as so you can fix it so it doesn't happen again. And particularly our depth in recruiting at linebackers, there's a lot of young guys, but in the last couple of years, that's devastated us as far as having to move safeties there and just finding enough linebackers. And we'll continue recruiting, but we got a bunch of young ones that are going to be really good players, I think.
Do you have to tweak anything with those guys when they get to campus with the running styles, or just anything coming out of high school? Do you have to tweak anything with those running?
Well, there's just the fundamental part of Coach McGee of teaching them how to press a block, where every play is designed to go, and there's a lot more technical stuff than just hand the ball and get out of the way. Now, some of the stuff is, all those guys have some natural ability as far as making somebody miss and ball skills and all that, but the finer points of understanding the design of the play. Coach McGee will get them and teach them up on that.
With Gary, you had mentioned earlier in camp that he wanted to try out the slot. How did that whole kind of situation evolve?
Well, we recruited him with that in mind, and he thought he could play both, but he's been playing more slot than running back, and because we're shorter on bodies there. And, the one thing, he's a very, very competitive guy, and he takes every rep full speed, and it's important to him. So we thought he had a chance to play as a freshman, and in 9 practices, he's shown us that we think we can have him ready.
In terms of depth, is wide receiver one of the more worrisome positions?
Not as much as you would think. Once we get everybody healthy, I think O-line's probably maybe the thinnest position, and O-line and D-line always worry about the big guys more from that standpoint.
How has Donavan Tate responded to getting hit?
Well, he got hit quite a bit yesterday. He had a bunch of ice bags on. Really well. He really trained hard. You can tell he's done a lot of work in the last several months to get his body in shape, and he's getting better every day. I mean, today he threw the ball really well, and it's he's a grown man. He's taking a mature approach to it, learning everything, and it's just been 9 days for him. 9 days and 9 years since he's played. So whatever it's been, he tickled to death to have him. He's been a great addition.
How important is patience for him? knowing that, I mean, there's got to be some rustiness, right?
Yeah, and I've mentioned that to him, and I'm sure Coach Smith has as well. That there's, you're not just going into, big time college football, for the first time in many, many years, but it's a whole new system and terminology and everything that goes along with that. And haven't played this sport in many, many years, but he's trained hard. He's in good shape, and he's a fast learner. And like I said, he's a grown man, and so you could tell that he's focused on trying to be able to compete with this, and he is. He's competing for the job.
You talked about 9 days in. How's the progress? You like the progress?
Yeah, been good. I think we're, I want to say, on schedule. There hasn't been anything as far as slowed us down. Usually I can tell by installation, like pulling way back on offense and defense, and we've thrown a bunch at them scheme-wise, more than I thought we could and more than we probably need to, but we're going to continue to press it, especially with those young guys, and see if they can keep learning.